back to our channel. If you're new here, kindly do consider joining our family by hitting on that red subscribe button. If you're already a part of our family,
Karibu sana! So today we'll be starting a new segment called Fun Facts. We'll be sharing fun facts about the places we visit, as well as the small nuggets we pick up along the way.
To start off, we're going to talk about Råbjerg Mile. Mom's going to be asking her some questions, and we're going to be answering it.
Yes, great job. Okay, so what is Råbjerg Mile?
Not a desert.
Sadie, you only say what it is, don't say anything else.
Migrating sand dunes. It's the largest migrating sand dunes in northern Europe.
Okay, how big is Råbjerg Mile?
The volume is 4 million cubic meters. It is 1 kilometer long and 1 kilometer wide, and it is 40 meters tall.
That's right. Okay, so you talked about Råbjerg Mile being a migrating sand dune. Where is it migrating to?
It's migrating towards the Baltic Sea, or Kattegat in Danish.
Okay, and what direction does it migrate towards?
In northern east.
Yeah, so it migrates towards the northeast. Why not any other direction?
Because of the wind.
What is it about the wind?
The wind comes from southwest and takes it to northeast.
Okay. So does this only happen in Råbjerg Mile or?
It happens a lot of other places.
Okay. So everywhere or what?
Yeah.
So even here, where we're seated, the northeast, the winds are blowing from the southwest to the northeast.
No.
No. Where does it happen then?
In the migrating sand dunes.
In the migrating sand dunes. That's right. Okay. And what are these winds called then?
Unidirectional winds.
Unidirectional winds. What does that mean?
It means that they go only one way, and they channel the wind all the way that one way.
Okay, so that they consistently move in the same direction.
Yeah.
Ear in, ear out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How far does Råbjerg Mile migrate in 1 year?
15 centimeters.
No.
15 meters.
Yeah, 15 meters towards the Baltic, right? Yeah. So when did this migration start?
In the mid 14th century.
In the mid 14th century.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'd like us to talk about some of the effects of this Råbjerg Mile, of this migration of these sand dunes, right? That started in the mid 14th century.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think happened? What are some of the effects from this migration? What do you think happened then in that 14th century? What are some of the things that we know today happened in those areas when it started migrating?
We know that the sand went over the farmlands and the plots of land that they had already cultivated.
Okay, so that means that the people who lived there were what?
They were farmers. Farmers.
Yeah,
They're farmers.
they were farmers. So what happened then?
They had to move.
Yeah, they were forced to move.
Why?
Because they couldn't farm with all that sand there.
Okay, so where did they move to?
Skagen.
Yeah, but where is Skagen?
Longer north.
It's farther up north.
Yeah.
And why did they move in that direction? First and foremost, why had they decided to stay there and not moved further up north?
Because that land had already been cultivated for very many decades of the family living there, that one family, and there was already a community there. So going up there would be like, then you were cut from the community.
You had to start from scratch again.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And also, we also know that there were other communities. There was Frieshound, there was Hulsi, there were other little places around there, communities around there. So moving further north would be cutting themselves off from the larger community, right?
Yeah.
So now that they had to move, because they couldn't come back to these other communities, it was all occupied, right?
Yeah.
They had to find a new space for themselves. And that's why they went up north. So this north that they went up to, which is today's, what we call today, Skene today, were they able to farm there?
No.
Why?
Because the weather conditions were more harsh and they were colder.
And why was it that way?
Because the longer north you travel, the harsher and the colder it becomes.
There's also something really special about Skene.
It's really close to the water.
Yes, but there's also something to do with the branch, Skene. What is it? What happens up there?
Two seas meet. The Baltic Sea and
The
Northern Sea.
The Northern Sea, that's right, yes. And of course, when they meet, there are different currents, yes?
Yeah.
And there are many...
Crosswinds.
Yes, there are many crosswinds, which means that it becomes very, very cold. But also something that we know about Skene and about the area around Skene, what kind of soil do they have?
Really wet soil.
It's not so good for farming.
It's not so good for farming because most of it is what? Sand. So, what do you think happens now that they have gone there? How are they able to feed themselves? Because they used to plant their food. They used to farm, right? They were farmers. They've lost their farms. They've moved upper. They've moved further north.
Yeah.
What are they going to eat?
Fish.
Fish.
Yeah.
Right? Fish. Because they are what? Surrounded by what?
Water. The sea, two seas actually.
Yeah, exactly. So they have a lot of fish, right?
So instead of being farmers, they turned into fishermen.
Yeah, so that's a change of industry, right? So they moved from becoming farmers to becoming fishermen. There's also another thing that happened. There's one thing that is still an attraction site around there that shows, that is proof that these sand dunes happened, that these sand dunes actually migrated. What's that proof that we have?
It's the sand-buried church.
Yeah, there's a sand-buried church where these communities used to live at, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do a trip to go there, and we'll show our followers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The sand-buried church. Okay.
Fun fact about that: the only thing you can see of that sand-buried church is the church tower. It's the only thing that you can see.
It's the only one that you can see. Yeah. Actually, they fought for that church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really wanted to stay.
Yeah, because they didn't want to move.
Yeah.
They did not want to move. And also, if you think of it, it's a big church, like the normal Danish churches here. Yeah. So it had taken a lot of manpower and a lot of resources to build. Yeah. So just letting it go away like that was not something they were willing to do.
No.
Plus, they were also very, very religious at that time. So they went to church every single Sunday. And even sometimes even more than that.
Yeah.
So they needed the church. Yeah. Okay, so last question.
Okay.
Is Råbjerg Mile a desert? In our last video, we wrote that Råbjerg Mile is the Sahara of the north. Sahara is a desert, right?
Yeah.
Is Råbjerg Mile a desert?
No.
No. Why? What is a desert?
It is a hot, dry, and barren land where you won't be able to grow vegetation there.
Okay. What's another characteristic of a desert, Sadie?
They only come 25 centimeters of rain per year.
So, in that definition, does Råbjerg Mile then fit into the description of a desert?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay. So maybe I was a bit wrong in saying that it's a Sahara of the North, but it looks like
a desert.
It looks like a desert, but it's not a desert. Yeah. So, is there vegetation? Is there vegetation in Råbjerg Mile?
Yes. It's very close to the water.
Yes. There's also another fun fact about Råbjerg Mile and where it is, that also disqualifies it from being a desert.
Yeah.
What is it?
Birds, they migrate towards the north to maybe, let's say, in Norway or Sweden. Then instead of going over water, because, well, they have to land a place, so they go over Denmark, and then they normally pass Råbjerg Mile and they land there. So it's a very good place for bird watchers to come and watch birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they stop there, would they really stop there if there wasn't food?
No.
So there is enough vegetation and fruits and berries for the birds to eat.
Yeah.
So that disqualifies it from being a desert. Okay. There's also water. There are also water pools that happen there. Yeah. How does that happen, Sadie?
There's vegetation around them, so they grow roots. Like they need a root, a basket for the water to stay in. So instead of just like being sucked up by the sand, it stays there because of the basket.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is the last question for you, Christian. How long does it take for a tree, when the sand comes and starts migrating towards it? How long will it take for the tree to re-emerge
On the other side.
on the other side?
Around 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So the sand you come over it and then go away again.
So that you can sprout up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Thank you for the fun facts. So you want to end the video?
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. And then remember to comment down in the description box. Comment down in the comment box down below and tell us which was your favorite fun fact.
Which was yours, Sadie?
I think it was the Sandberg Church.
The Sunbury Church. How about you?
I think I really liked the one with the birds, where they flew over the Denmark and over the Råbjerg Mile. Yeah.
That it becomes a nice resting spot for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, it is the change of industry, that it brought about the change of a whole community's industry. That without it, we'd actually probably not have Skene today. You know, the fisherman villages and the fisherman houses and the culture that is in Skene. I think that's the most interesting for me. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Until next time.
Kwaheri!